Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program 1.0 Career Mode. We're going to Mimus again, but this time we're going with something a little bit more fun and a little bit more sciencey. We've got a couple of contracts to do there, but while we're there, I've been popping between biomes and doing some stuff, and I've decided that in future, I'd like to just grab all the science at once. So, I've got something a little special, and I'll show you when we get to Mimus. So, first of all, to take off, it's a pretty heavy craft. By the way, you'll notice that down the bottom I actually have these little side engines supporting the skipper engine, because the skipper engine just isn't enough. It's a pretty big craft. But, let's get going. So, to future me for the launch. So we're going to speed this up by 4 times, because, well, you've seen a few launches by now. But this craft is taking real full advantage of the ridiculously large parts we now have. And by ridiculous, I mean they're just, medium-sized parts. But hey, we've actually only just got to them. These are ridiculously sized for us. So dropping off those, and one of them blows up. Unfortunately, not getting that one back. The ridiculously sized SRBs, which are ridiculously sized, and then the 2.5 meter main stage with a little bit of extra thrust, because we still haven't unlocked the main sail. It's a good design. It's maybe a little bit more brute forcey than was necessary, but it's a good design and it does what we need, and we are launching a fairly large craft, as you will see shortly. So we're going to try for a nice gentle turn here. Once we get up to about 2 kilometers of orbital velocity, I'm going to have to drop the main stage to avoid it burning up, because if you go over something like 2.2 it burns up. And there we go, we've ejected that middle fairing, and you can see that we've got this tiny little engine. No, isn't it cute? So we're going to do our circularization burn using that tiny little engine. No. Slowly, catchy monkey. Just trying to get this perfectly on there. So the reason we've got tiny little engine is because, frankly, it's really efficient, and frankly, we don't care about thrust to weight ratio very much. And if we're on the surface of Mimus, I want a tiny little engine. I don't want something crazy powerful, because you go a long way on Mimus. So doing our burn there. And just putting out our new solar panels. This is the first time we can use these new solar panels. I think we only unlocked them last episode. First time we've got, sun tracking solar panels. It's so good that we don't have to have a fixed solar panel that will end up in misery and madness and despair when they inevitably fail to hit. So there we go, we've dropped our gears, and you can see what this is. This is a rocket-powered rover. Oh yeah, we're going to land on Mimus. We're going to rove around using a rocket, because we don't actually have any gears or wheels that actually have, motors in them. So we're going to need to push ourselves with a rocket. So we're basically going to push ourselves around Mimus with a rocket engine, because that isn't overpowered at all. So just setting up our transfer burn here. It looks like we're basically roughly at the ascending-descending node when we leave, so we should be good for a very minimal inclination burn here, luckily. We have quite a lot of delta in this top stage. Now the reason for that is because A, I'm doing the transfer burn, B, I'm doing the landing burn, C, I'm doing roving around, and D, we're using it to get back. So it needs a lot of delta V, but that's why there was such a large lifter stage under it, because it's a very large top stage as well. And let's just fast forward to that node. Hello, node. Okay, that's quite a large margin, but I think we need a large margin considering our thrust ratio is very low. So let's get thrusting and get on with it. Well, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Using a rover to get around Mimus is going to be fun, but it's going to be tough using such a rocket-powered engine. I mean, for a start, we don't have the ability to really steer very well with it. We don't have the ability to brake very well with the current system. It's, not particularly wide base, so we could flip over. And we've got 3 people, so I've taken 2 with me. We're picking up 1 person who's there, so we've got a rescue Kerbal contract, which is great because A, 3 Kerbal, and B, lots of money. And we've got 2 people on board in a 3-pan capsule. The 1 person we've got on board, very important, is we've got a scientist. And the reason this is incredibly important, is because we actually have 1 science bay and 1 goo canister and a thermometer on board. And we can use these and reset them, because material bay is worth a lot of money. not money, science. They're worth 75 science on the surface of Mimus, I think. So going to the surface of Mimus and just getting 75 science, reset, 75 science, reset, 75 science, reset. Just amazingly good. Provided we've got the Kerbal to do it. So we've got a scientist on board. Jessie O'Combe is coming, because Jessie is actually our least experienced scientist with only 1 star. Oh my god. So we're going to use her. And hopefully get a crap ton of science from her. Now, what we're doing here is we've actually got another contract as well, which is to put a satellite into a orbit. It's a almost spherical orbit. That would be weird. Almost a circular orbit. It's I think 333 by 340, I think, with 0 inclination. And we've just got to get into that orbit and then release a probe. So the probe is unmanned, has an antenna, and has the ability to generate electricity, and we've literally got probe, solar panel, antenna, bam, done. But we've got to eject it from the craft, and this actually causes a number of problems, which I'll let past me talk about. But just trying to get our orbit to be correct now. This is another reason that I've got crazy amounts of delta V in this top section, because I knew that I'd be doing orbital maneuvers like this. In addition to doing orbital maneuvers like this and trying to get periaps, apoaps right, inclination right, I've also then got to do the targeted landing for our Kerbal, who we've got to pick up. So it's not like land anywhere, do whatever you want. It's you've got to land here, you've got to be in this orbit beforehand. So we don't really have a large amount of leeway on this. So this is why I went for such a large rocket for, you know, effectively what is a min-must run. The rocket cost, I think, 70-something thousand, 70-something, 75, 73, I don't know. So it's a fairly expensive rocket, all things considered. So hopefully it'll make its money back. That said, you know, getting one Kerbal back, the cost for that will meet the cost of the rocket, and we get most of the rocket parts back, especially the main center stage. We'll load the parachutes on that and made sure we dropped it at the right time. We should get the money back from that, and the cost should be minimal. Effectively what we're dropping is this top stage that we've got just under our capsule at the moment. That'll end up burning up and disappearing, and that's worth about, I don't know, a few thousand. So in theory we should be okay. But anyway, back to past me, and let's do this whole satellite thing, because it's worth a few grand. I can't remember how much it is, but hopefully we should be able to get it. After that long maneuver, we now are ready to release our probe in the right orbit, so... Oh god, that was rather violent. Bye! Here is the probe. It has solar panels, it has an antenna, it is all the things that you need for a decent probe. Hello! Right, now we need to release it into the orbit we're currently in, but the problem is, if we eject it, the decoupler is going to impart a force on it in that direction, hard enough in the lower gravity of Minmus that it will probably throw it completely out of the orbit. Because it's really low gravity around Minmus. And that decoupler has ejection force. So we need to make sure we're not in the orbit, but the probe will go into the orbit. So our orbital velocity is 67.3. If we point retrograde... what do we want to go? I'm going to call it just less than 10 meters per second, maybe? It's kind of a small object with quite a large force on the decoupler. So if we go to 58... Yeah, 58.3 maybe? And then eject it. Hopefully that'll be fine. Right. Prograde. Get ready to eject. Hopefully this will be fine. Okay. 3, 2, 1. And fire. Oh, did we do it? Yes, position satellite. Oh my god, I can't believe we got that. So, back to future me, and I completely forgot that was worth quite so much. My god, that's a good amount of money. That's why I took it in the first place. Yeah, one of our stages didn't land, but that was because it was... I'm pretty sure that was the parachute that... Not the parachute, the SRB that blew up and hit the other ones. You know, one SRB out of 4 is a loss. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially when we're making so much money from this Minmus run. This Minmus run isn't entirely about money, though. This Minmus run, it just happens to be that, oh, there were contracts here for money, and I could go back and do the biomes. And frankly, I will land on my own, on Minmus for biomes 9 times out of 10 rather than the moon. The moon is harder to land on, it's harder to take off from, the terrain is less forgiving. The landing itself is less forgiving because, you know, the gravity's higher. You can't just go, oh, I'll burn a little bit upwards and, you know, re-choose my landing. So we're going in here for our landing. Give me Minmus any day for this. I mean, you couldn't do this on the moon. Could you? I think the moon's gravity is probably just too high for this engine. So we've got a thruster ratio that's pretty low, but on Minmus this is considered a really powerful thruster weight. So we're going to just burn. I'm going to do a burn to get rid of my horizontal velocity first, and then we're going to try and flip to a bit of vertical. There we go. You can see the materials bay right there. Followed by life support, followed by the engine. And just try and land ourselves. And we'll try and flip over at the last minute. The great thing about Minmus is, of course, because of the low gravity, you can flip over at the last minute, and you won't get enough acceleration from the small fall that will damage you, because it would be pretty much a gentle bump. This is why you can do this, where you probably couldn't do this on the moon. Or if you could, it'd be a little bit more dangerous. But we're coming in here. Everything looks good. Ooh, ooh, yes. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Now flip, 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 flip. Success! Back to past me. Off, off, off. There we go! We're landed! The rover is landed! It looks really, really weird, but that's fine. We are landed. It's official. We're amazing. Wow, so much science to do and a Kerbal to save. So, temperature scan. Basic analysis. Oh, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it. 24 science. Temperature reads minty fresh. You make an addendum requesting that all future thermometers use numbers instead of wisecracks. And maybe it's actually a good idea before we do this to switch craft to... Have we not activated him? Oh, he's too far away. He's not within 2. Okay. Let's get a mystery goo observation. 30 science. Even the goo seems to want a taste of the minty surface. Material study. That's what I'm talking about. 75. When the material samples were processed, you began to turn your thoughts to how Mimbus looks like a mint dessert and how and now you discovered you're hungry. Yeah, cool. Let's get a crew report. You wonder why you're sitting in the capsule when there's so much fun to have outside. Well, I want to send the crew report home because we can only have one of those. But if I activate the antenna, we can get it home. Look, look, look. We can transmit home. Transmit. Done. 15 science. Let's get an EVA report. Oh, and we need to be on the ground, I think. There we go. Surface sample. Sound from Mims's Lowlands. Worth 90. Keep the data. EVA report. Lowlands. 24 science. I can't jump, because if I jump, I'll hit my head. So I've got to gently... Or not gently. Alright, come on. Come on. I saw... Oh no! You hit your head again. This is going to be annoying, I think. Right. If only I had, like, deployable ladders. Wait, do I have them unlocked? I can't remember if I unlocked them last time. Well, while we're out here, let's go reset the science bay and get the material out of it. Because we luckily have our scientist, Jessia. By luckily, I mean I put her in specifically for this purpose. All right, can we... Oh, you're kidding. I have to jump to get there? There we go. Oh, this might be a bit more fun than I anticipated. Alright, let us... Can I fold the solar panel in? Wait, you can't fold the solar panel in? Oh, what? They've changed the solar panel so you can't fold them in anymore. Because I want to stand on this wheel brake, but I can't. Oh god, this is going to be fun. Slow me down. Right, there we go. Can I grab from here? Collect data. Remove data. Restore. Modules operational again. Collect data. Remove data. Restore. Modules operational again. And the thermometer? Can we get there? Log temperature. Keep data. Can I then pull the data out? No, it just gets logged. Okay. That's fine. Now the fun part of getting back into the craft. Do 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 do. Right. Gently, gently does it. Don't hit your head. I'm not even sure what happened there. And we're back with Future Me, mainly because getting into this capsule is one hell of a bit of effort sometimes. Because you bump your head ever so slightly and suddenly the Kerbal's unconscious. I don't know what it is about Kerbals, but they really don't like that. So we're going to travel along now towards the site. We're only a few kilometers away. We could have probably done a better landing, but meh. A few kilometers away from our lovely Kerbal. And we'll go collect him, and then we'll be heroes. Also, you know, money and a free Kerbal. Now the problem with actually... Woo! We can phase through objects. This is great. The problem with this craft, driving it, is that you can't really drive it in the typical sense. If you try and use steering, you won't steer. Because, well, you just don't have enough gravity. Because, of course, gravity pushes you into the ground. That gets you grip. And grip is how you turn. Because, you know, you turn the wheel. It doesn't work. you need to use the SAS on this craft to just actually physically move the craft to the side because you can't turn. Because the friction force it just isn't high enough. Going and moving around Mimus with a rover is actually really, really tough. What we're doing here effectively is skating. We just happen to have wheels on. Because we're not turning via, the ability to turn our wheels. We're turning by the ability to turn the entire craft. The wheels just hopefully, eventually, give us traction in that direction enough to be able to defeat the other direction. But we're coming in now. I'm just a little bit worried that we're coming in pretty fast. So it might be a fun braking experience. Braking's going to be really tough. Braking with this? Because, of course, we don't have a friction force of the ground, so we're just going to end up skating forwards. It's going to be like a giant ice rink, effectively. That's actually interesting, yeah. You could actually describe the frictional force as basically being like an ice rink, because the frictional force is less. Interesting, I never thought of it that way. Anyway, I'll take you back to past me and the weird thing that's going on ahead, because things are going odd. Okay, is that just me, or are they rising up in the sky? They're rising up in the sky. We're headed towards debris. Debris is suddenly closer. Brake. Careful about the braking. Careful about the braking. Oh god, don't brake that hard. Careful. Oh god. We got this. We got this. Don't. Come on. We're fine. We're fine. We're good! Okay. Hello there. Podfell Kerman. Could you bring me a surface sample and an EVA report, please? Thank you. 90. Take a handful of snow, ice and dirt and put it into your sample bag. You hope the science team on Kerbal will figure out what it is and what is not suitable for Kerbal consumption. EVA report. You look up at the highlands and wonder out loud whether you could jump over them. Mission Control advises you not to try. Awesome. Well, let's just take to the skies. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oop. And you've got future me again, just for a second while we get back in, because... oh my god, this is annoying. I would say that I wish I'd turned the capsule around, but then we wouldn't have the same orientation for driving, and that would be pretty tough and annoying. So we're going to get out, and we're going to go grab the science. I like how they skip around the Mimus, it looks pretty cool. So grab the science there. Also going to grab the science out of the main material bay. Boop, 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 and then reset everything. Which means we're going to have to do this every biome, and then get back in after every biome and hit our heads. That'll be fun. And you've got to be aware of how much RCS we've got, otherwise we won't be able to get back in. That could be a problem. Anyway, well, I think it's time to look for maybe some more contracts, etc. And, yeah, get some more money. But, I've been EnterElysium. I'm going to pass you back to Past Me. Hi, Past Me. Plant flag on Mimus. Okay, so we've got a plant flag on Mimus one. Easy peasy. Should have done that when we're out, but oh well. Let's just move to the side. So we don't crush the flag. And plant flag. Ta-da! Site name. Min-mus 3. Jessia. Saving. Private. Podfell. With the new science rover. Rover rocket. Rocket rover. Rocket rover. There we go. Done. Oh, whoa. Come back to the photo op. Come back to the photo op, Jessia. It's too good an opportunity to pass up. Or you could just take a giant leap for Kerbal kind. Ta-da! That's a pretty good photo op. Right, let's get back in. Right, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back to the Space Center, check if there's any more mission-y things to do, and I'm also going to, what else? Check for biomes, to check what science we've done, what science we need to do, and where we need to go. So, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay, hello, and I checked, and there is another mission. It's to send data from the surface of Minmus. Wait, what? Dude, haven't I got a connection? Dude, what, really? I can't connect to this satellite here? Come on. There we go. Right, okay. Transmit! No, wait, not that. That's a material study. Crew report. Transmit! Done! 5 data received from crew report, and we also get more money for the contract. Yay! Right, so there isn't a biome overlay in the game or whatever, so I'm kind of thinking I want to install a mod for that. It's kind of crazy I can just zoom out this far without going to the map screen. Although you can see the fact that it doesn't render half of the planet down there. Look at that. You aren't rendering Minmus. I see you, game. You haven't fooled me. I might go to this plateau here. But yeah, we definitely want to hit up the pole over here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Get some science from that. But we need to do a scan of the planet and then determine what its biomes are, know where to hit it up. But I think that will require launching a polar orbiting satellite to do some scans. So I think that'll be next episode. We'll do that, we'll bring the rover home, we'll get crazy amounts of science, and then I think it's a case of going maybe to the moon, setting up a satellite network, and going for interplanetary stuff. Because we will have so much science after coming back from this if we do a proper rover round. In theory, 90 science from each biome, we're going to have a lot of science. So we're going to end it here. I've been EnterElysium. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, or would like not subscribe, please consider subscribing. That way, of course, you can see more. But now we've rescued Podfell. Well, nearly rescued Podfell. At the moment, we've kind of sort of kidnapped him. But, he likes it, really. He got a science. But until next time, stay shiny.